Okay, thank you for talking to me, dear Alex. I hit record.
Great. Let's get into it.
Oh, let's please let me do a little bit of gushing first. I want to thank you profusely and from the bottom of my heart for the videos you've made and for your art.
Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you. They hit the right spot with a lot of people. I think that blend of catchy choruses and humor and comedy and satire mixed with, profound truths is a very good set of ingredients.
Yes, it is.
It's a good medicine. It's a very good a medium to reach people with these ideas. Unfortunately, and I know I keep harping on about the censorship. When I said to my wife today, I'm not going to keep talking about it. I'm not going to because I know it exists and it's getting me down a little bit, but I can't let that define and I can't let that stop me because that's exactly what it's designed to do. That the algorithms don't like that. They've obviously figured out sarcasm and comedy and the visuals and everything, and they don't want that on their platforms. And I know I keep mentioning it, but I think I'm going to have to take a different direction somehow because just getting seen is an issue these days because of this very powerful medium that I use, which is comedy sometimes, and or healing or whatever. And the
Yes.
algorithms have figured that out, and they're doing everything in their power to stop me doing from what I'm doing, and it's working. It's very deflating, but I don't want to come to the table going, I'm like, poor me, poor me, poor me, because everybody is subject to these algorithms and stuff. So I'm going to have to take a different direction. How much longer Conspiracy Music Guru goes, I don't know. I might have to sort of change the name, start a new channel,
No,
water down things. Which I
no,
don't really
please
want to
don't,
water.
please don't water down. You know what I think is so great, really. I mean, I admire your musicianship. So I think the lyrics are amazing. There are good musicians, but making good lyrics is another thing.
Mm.
I'm a language person, but I can't do poetry, and I'm really in awe of the lyrics. And then I think it's so amazing the filming that you do, that you use the techniques that are used on us to lie to us, and you use that to educate us.
Well, I show how easy it is to do green screen. I mean,
Yes,
NASA has a budget of something like $70 million a day, and all we get is green screen nonsense. And
I
I
know.
show how easy it is to, with just a green piece of cloth and an imagination
It's
to.
amazing. And
Mm.
I wish I wonder whether you would actually make a video about how you made the video, maybe just for us insiders, because I was amazed that only one person. I know it was a lot of work and I know it took a long time, but you did it on your own without a budget. And
Mm.
I'd love for you to get to make us a video and take us behind the scenes. I think it's amazing, and it's very educational, and I thought this is such a good way to do it, ingenious way to do it, to use their tools,
Mm.
to dismantle them.
I,
um
I wish I had $70 million a day. I could be, I could definitely up the production value a little bit. But
But the amazing thing is that you don't have it and that you did it anyway.
yeah. In
And
fact, my first a couple of the first two or three videos that I was making was with an iPhone. I didn't have a DSLR camera or anything. I literally just put an iPhone on a stand and pointed it at myself, put a green cloth behind me. Once I figured out that, oh, all I need is a green cloth behind me, and I could turn that green cloth into any image, any video. I could have what I like behind me. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
oh
And
my
then of
God,
course
this is
I
amazing. I'm not, I'm a techno klutz or a techno sloth or a techno
Bo.
phobe or or idiot, whatever you want to call. Well, my kids think I'm a techno idiot, and my husband thinks I'm a techno genius. So there you go.
Okay.
It's all, it's all
It's actually not that hard. I mean, even with the most basic, I mean, I was using iMovie, which comes free with a Mac, and it has a green screen feature. Once I saw green screen, and I clicked that button, and the green disappeared, and the image appeared behind. I was like, oh my God, it was such a creative burst to go, right, I could put myself on the moon, or if I just lie on a green box, because the software takes all the green out, so I'm lying on a green box, and it looks like I'm floating. And I was like, oh, this is
I
so
know. I was
cool.
wondering how you did that. It's amazing. And you brought your dog in too. He's so cute.
Yeah, he's no longer with us, sadly. But yeah, who doesn't like a fluffy cocker spaniel? He's, they say never work with children or animals. He was a pain in the ass, but I had to sort of tempt him with a carrot because he loved carrots. So I was just making him sit there and he's
I
looking at the
know, and
carrot,
he was
doing
just,
all the these, he's padding with his paws and that because he
oh,
knows
and
he's
it
going to
was so
get a treat. Yeah, and I put a little hat on him as well. Just those little touches, And, but he's no longer with us, but he's cemented in my videos forever now, which is
I
nice.
know. We love him. He's part
Yeah.
of it. That's so great.
Flat
Yeah.
Earth Eddie, flat Eddie, we called him.
Oh, Flat Eddie. Oh, how cute. Yeah, well, it really, and I've watched these so many times. The other day, a friend came by, and she was in a bad space, and I held space for her, and then I said, "Okay, now we need to watch Alex."
Sometimes I even find myself going back and watching them just for shits and giggles, and I just think, oh, that was such a great time doing all that stuff.
Yeah, it
And
was,
so
please, please, please don't give up. Please do it again. And then, you know, there is an audience for you. And I think,
there isn't though. Where is it? How,
oh,
how how can I
no,
have that audience though?
but see, I mean, like you walk through this portal, for me, it was walking through Don Lester's and David Parker's book, What Really Makes You Ill. That was the portal. And then I discovered all these things. And for fun, I made a list of all the things that happened after I read that book. I have let go of so much and I keep shedding stuff and I feel 1,000 kilograms lighter.
Wow.
And so much happier. And I see all these people everywhere waking up. And I think, one problem is, and that we often, the people that wake up tend to be quite tolerant. Like you go, oh, that's great. If that's what you think, then you do your thing and I do my thing. And then we're alone because we're so tolerant and and I think it's great and I don't want to lose that. But how about connecting, having this real network, connected in freedom, you know? Because there are enough people. I had a successful online business that then went away. Sometimes, things have to disappear. And I know that you can make um, money ethically with a fairly small number of people if you really nurture them, if you give to
Mm,
them.
mm,
And it's amazing that, like 100 people paying 35 euros a month give you a basic income.
mm.
And it's and there are more than
The,
100.
the only problem, I mean, to give you an example, recently I put a post on my Telegram group, which has like 3,500 followers.
Oh,
And I said,
I have to connect. I didn't know you had one. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I put a link on there saying I'm giving away 50 memberships to my Patreon for free
Hmm.
for a month, just as a trial period. Go it. I said there's lots of exclusive content there. If you want to go check it out here, the first 50 people get the link and just go redeem it with this link free. And one person actually signed up for free. So I can't even give away memberships to my Patreon, let alone try and get people to pay $3 a month, which is still nothing in my
It's
opinion.
nothing. It's nothing. And it's actually not enough.
People are so used to getting everything for nothing. People want music for nothing. People want music videos. People want all the amount of effort that I put into it. They all want it for nothing. It's so frustrating to try and get people to part with just a couple of bucks a month to support what I do. Like I say, I can't even give it away at this point.
You
So
know,
let alone trying to find 100 people that would part with 30
oh,
bucks a month.
may I say something about that
Mm, mm.
on record?
Sure.
My experience is that, like when we sometimes we tend to give away too much. I know that I have really used free stuff and honored it. But sometimes I was given presents for free that I didn't want. Like if I'm dreaming about a handpan and then sometimes someone gives it to me, that's a great gift. But if I'm not dreaming about a handpan and someone gives it to me for free, it's a burden almost. And I think people, yeah, there are all these freebies around and it's overwhelming. But what is still also out there is this need for honest and authentic and deep connection. And I think people are willing to pay for that. So one has to find the audience who doesn't get stuff for free, but is willing to have the authentic connection and pay for that.
Mm,
And you don't need that many people. And I think that the fact that AI and the algorithms, I know they're partially the same thing, but not quite. Behind those, people forget behind those are people that are programming them. And the fact that they punish you or avoid you is a badge of honor for you,
Mm.
because that means that you're the real deal.
Mhm.
Otherwise, so wear that proudly, please.
Yeah, as I said before, the price to pay for authenticity. But I'm looking for
It's a
different
good
ways
price.
now.
Yes, and so the thing is to to like, wouldn't it be sad if a genius like you, if I may say that, and I'm not buttering you up, I think these videos are genius, and the healing music is too. So wouldn't it be sad if you became quiet or withdrew because of bitterness?
Mm,
So your fans, we have to band together and support you so that it doesn't happen. And also this inner work of not letting them get you, but connecting with your heart and the music and your art.
mm. I mean, it's easier said than done. Again, I don't want this to be a negative conversation,
Oh,
but
it's an honest conversation, and
yeah,
important
yeah.
one.
I'm going to. I mean, obviously, my channel is just completely blown to bits now. There's no point even uploading content to my channel anymore. So I might have to rebrand. I mean, I have the new website healingwithfrequencies.net, and it has my solfeggio albums on there by Alex Michael rather than Conspiracy Music Guru, because there's a lot of people that are just allergic to the word conspiracy, and the algorithms don't like the word conspiracy. So I've just got a separate hub now for the healing with frequencies, and there's going to be a lot of information with regards to solfeggio, and it also has my true solfeggio on there, and the albums, like I say Alex Michael rather than conspiracy music guru. So I might concentrate on getting exposure to that, maybe doing press releases or something, some kind of way to get exposure to that. That might come with a marketing budget, and that's I might have to, and that's a risk as well. So I might have to rebrand a little bit. Obviously, I've got my Patreon audience, and they will always get the conspiracy or woke kind of I hate that word woke, but conscious music in the right frequency. So I'm going to have to do something. I'm going to have to change. I cannot continue being conspiracy music guru on my YouTube channel. It's just absolutely pointless uploading videos to that channel now. So something has to change, and I'm just sort of playing with ideas of what I'm going to do next. But I'm at the crossroads now, and I have to make a bunch of decisions. So
Can
that's where
you
I am.
rename? Can one rename a challenge?
You can rename the channel, but the channel is now blacklisted, so there'd be no point. Even if I upload completely benign content and love songs, the channel is still marked. And I actually think my IP address is marked as well. My website certainly. So if I was to create another channel, I've looked into it, and you would have to create a channel from a new computer, from a new IP address, before you can even start again. So that's a challenge in itself.
And what I don't know about blacklisting enough in technology terms. So when you upload a new video, do they delete it immediately or does it just not get views?
It just doesn't get views. I can upload videos to my heart's content. I uploaded a video yesterday. It wasn't a music video. It was a guy talking to AI about my censorship. Nice guy,
Hmm. Hmm.
Vince. His name is, very good guy. So he was talking to AI about what I could do next, and So I uploaded that video to my channel. It's 15 minutes long, and I have 81,500 subs on my YouTube channel, and it's had in the last 24 hours or even longer, it only had 700 views. So not even, it's like 1% of my audience that are seeing my content. It's criminal. It's absolutely criminal.
Well, it means that people that know about you need to consciously go um, onto your site. But I've noticed. I mean, Eric Dubai is not the flavor of the month either.
Mm.
Mm, I think that he made the best flat Earth documentary. The 1 hour one.
200,
The,
200 proofs. Yeah.
yeah, but I like his 20 top proofs even better because he
Mm.
takes a little bit more time for each.
Hmm.
And what I like about that is that it's so undramatic. There's no dramatic music. It's very factual. It's very, yeah.
I don't know. I'm a little bit. I'm not going to start shill calling or anything like that, but it's very curious as to how he's got so many. And he's had his channel deleted, and then he came back, and he's back to 200,000 subs again. And like that was. How do you do that? I mean, I wish I could do that.
Well,
I
I
wish I.
was wondering now, then when he has a new video, YouTube shows that to me. So I was wondering when
Well,
you,
he's very, very lucky because it doesn't show any of my stuff.
Hmm.
It's just if I was to upload a music video to my channel, I'd be very lucky to get 5,000 views, which is not even 10%
Hmm. Yeah.
of the. I mean, people get magically unsubscribed; they don't get the notifications anymore. So I've just now come to I'm just accepting that that channel is a dead channel now.
Yeah, but don't give up yet because you also have these great videos there. So how about, do you have a newsletter list?
Yeah, I do. I've got on my website. I've got a couple of 2 or 3 thousand people signed up for the newsletter, and I've sent out newsletters before,
Oh,
and I don't get any traction on that either. So
mm-hmm.
uh, yeah, I mean I won't delete the channel. It will remain. It will always remain. But you can just if you just dive into the analytics of the sub count and how you can just see what's going on, and I get it. Well, I don't get it actually. I think it's a bloody crime because it causes me loss, harm, and injury, which is the very definition of a crime. They should be held accountable, but I'm not going to take YouTube on in court. I'm just
No,
going to
no,
have
no,
to.
no, please don't.
No, I'm
No,
just going to have to.
one has to ignore them in that way. I'm just wondering, I took a very expensive business class um 3 years ago. And those people, they are on YouTube, they are on Instagram, but they have surprisingly few followers. They work with ads a lot, which I don't recommend in your case, but what they do with ads, you could do with networking would be
Mm.
my idea. That you have the material, people can find it, and then
That's the one of the frustrating things is because I have these albums, that all so many different genres and different, for I've got something for everyone. I've got enough information in these albums to wake a dead horse, and even the and
you
even
sure do, you sure
yeah,
do.
I know. So I've got these undiscovered genius pieces of work that
I
just
know.
like that could really help people. So it's not like I want to go out and create more products and put them out there to who's because no one's watching anymore
But
because they've seen
but
that.
hey, come on, I'm not no one, and I'm showing them to my friends.
Yeah, so even the solfeggio stuff is perfect because it knows no language barrier. So someone in Korea
No,
could
I
really enjoy it.
know, I
So I
know.
know I have these products and I know they work because I have the testimonials. It's just reaching the people. So that's the problem. I think I'm going to need to have a marketing budget, somebody that could market it to the right audience. Maybe even the new age audience. They love a bit of the healing frequency, or somehow getting it out to the eyes and ears that need to see it and hear it. That's my frustration. I know I've got the product. I know it's a winner. On a small scale, I just want to get it to a larger audience, and that's my challenge at the moment because that's going to come with a budget. I don't have a stack of money in the bank, so it's like. And putting a marketing budget is always a risk as well. Sometimes you don't get the return on the
Oh,
investment. But
and I still hope to be talking to you later offline. I think that it is a good idea to create some kind of participatory product that one can sell. You have your music, art, um, the music for people to enjoy, the videos for people to be educated, and then it's good if you have something, and I know you have tons of stuff that you could offer. um, like a hands-on product or membership or course that you could offer, and then we could network, you know
mm,
and then that somehow you create your basic income from that, from working with people and offering retreats, and then you're free to create your art, and
mm,
your art will speak for itself in the long run.
mm.
Will, and don't discount the happiness you have already caused.
No,
And
no,
waking
no.
up. I mean, I came to you when I had just woken up, but it confirmed what I had learned, and it brought a lightness to it. Like I observed that in this space of people that are half waking up um or just shedding stuff. I see there are two roads you can take. You can become happy about having discovered a new life, or you can become bitter about
Yeah,
having been lied to. And um, well, I don't know. I can feel darkness. Definitely I can, but I was given the gift of also feeling joy, being able
yeah,
to do that. I wouldn't have survived if I hadn't been given that gift as well. And humor is one of the ways that, like one of the gateways to to joy. That's why I think your art speaks to me so much.
Well, thank you. I'm not sure how I could create something that people could participate in. I mean, I could, like I said, I would struggle to show somebody how I do what I do because I don't read music and I can, but I could explain roughly. But in order to some for someone to emulate that, they would have to have the same
No, no, no,
kind of
no, no, no,
equipment
not,
as well,
not,
wouldn't they?
no, no, not emulate. No, not emulate. Like you share, and then people get inspired, and then that helps them to do their own thing.
Right.
Well, there's only one Alex. There will only ever be one Alex, and that's great. But that doesn't mean that you can't hold space for people um, to find their own thing because you're
Mm,
modeling being you.
mm.
And actually also it'll be a great journey to watch you go from being, a bit despondent about having created something so valuable and not being,
That's where I am at the moment. It's not a nice place, and I hate to keep pissing and moaning about it, but it
but
is
one
what it
has to
is.
do it for a while. One has to
Yeah,
do
I
it
have
for a
to. Yeah, I
while.
have to get it off my chest, and I've even written a song all about censorship because when you're in a place like this,
Mhm.
it does inspire. It does inspire songs and everything. So I need to snap out of it, is what I need to do,
I,
and
I
reorganize.
I actually think one can do both. I think it's feeling the pain is really important. Having someone witnesses it is really important. And at the same time, consciously looking for ways to simultaneously do something else. I've learned about the power of both and. I'm a grammar nerd.
Yes.
and and uh, or is a coordinating conjunction, and both and is a correlative conjunction. And
Way over my head.
I'm just teasing you. So one doesn't need to know, just like one doesn't need to read music, doesn't need to know the name, the pompous name for something that is very cool. Like you can be both sad and despondent, and you can be joyful about finding something else, or you can connect with other people. And I think it's very important to hold space for the pain.
Yeah.
I think it's extremely important. And, often in this new world, I'm actually trying to find words for, I don't want to say I'm learning or healing or waking up anymore, because then that sort of is like almost disparaging towards the old me who wasn't there yet, or the other people who aren't there yet. I want to somehow maybe flourish like a tree, you know? And the tree sometimes sheds stuff and flourishes, and I walk through these woods here, and they're the tiny tiny trees, and then these big old trees, and they're all beautiful. you know the tiny tree is adorable, and everything is just right. I look at myself growing older and go, oh my God, I'm getting older, but I look at the trees going older and I think, oh my God, it's so beautiful.
That's a nice way to
Yeah,
look at
so
it. Yeah.
I'm wondering, how can we express, shedding old stuff and flourishing without disparaging ourselves for not having been there yet,
Mm.
because I'm healing from having been so dumb. uh, and part of this flourishing is finding new ways to, well, to new ways to bloom,
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm struggling with at the moment. So I'd be interested to see what your ideas are. You talked about creating courses or so, I don't know, something that's interactive or, you
Well,
know,
I let's just, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Isn't that a saying that you guys have?
yeah,
An old-fashioned one, but
yeah,
since I like pudding and I like eating, I like that saying. So, let me be your guinea pig. Give me the honor of being a guinea pig, because
well,
I love sound. I love sound healing. I'm a philologist, and I've spent most of my time, with the nose in books and writing about grammar that other people don't want to hear about. And I feel a little bit what you're saying. I wrote this awesome grammar book, and I think I understand so much about grammar, and it's so much cooler than the grammar books in the university. But of course, nobody wants it and needs it. But I needed it because it helped me reach the place where I'm at, and it's a happier place for me. So I'm happy I wrote it. It was fun writing it, and nobody needs it. And that's something. And I sometimes get angry that I think, well, all these stupid books, they make a lot of money, and my fun book doesn't make me a dime. It
Yeah.
has just cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I look at it and I'm really joyful about it, you know. And so and I trust that somehow, you know, I will find a way. Um,
Mm.
and yeah, and you know, I and music, you know, music is also a language, and it's this universal language. And you know, we you know, maybe it's all music, you know, as we said before.
Mm.
So your work is so important in so on so many ways, you know. I mean, we can't let it happen that you sink into despair.
No, but yeah. So you know, I'm open to suggestions. You know, I'm still, you know, working away like a busy little beaver behind the scenes, making a True Solfeggio Volume 3.
Hmm.
And that's sounding wonderful. It's going to be great. And but I think I need to do the circuit. I need to get on interviews and podcasts and really start pushing it, which is what I really didn't want to do that, but I think I'm going to have to push myself.
Don't yet. Don't. I think. What is the word? Hustling. Hustling is the word, right?
Yeah,
There's hassle and there's hustling. I mean hustle.
yeah.
Hustling is. I think that's the old world. No, no. I think you really have to keep following your joy. It has to.
Yeah,
It has
but
to.
who's going to be there to? I mean, I have to be the one to promote it because I'm the one that understands it and can explain it. So I'm going to have to be the talking head and do these things to let people know that
Yes,
this thing exists.
you do have to explain it, but it has to be a conversation that's enjoyable. You know,
Yeah,
conversations can be enjoyable and they can be draining.
yeah.
And like conversations in a loving space where you brainstorm and you just look at things and you're having fun. Those are, you know, where you flourish or you evolve. Those are different from, oh my God, I have to do an interview now so that I'm visible. And you know, I'm convinced that that energy won't get us anywhere. It has to be the joy energy that gets us the
Mm,
people that we want, you know, because we
mm,
don't. The thing is, I was in this marketing webinar, and you know, I wanted to puke because you know they go from, well, you have to turn your product from a nice to have into a must have, and I just think, well, bullshit. You know, at the end of the day, there's no must have. You know, you just you know you're just putting salt into people's wounds and then pretending that your product is the only solution, and that's unethical, you know.
mm,
And also, you know, there are so many people thinking, oh, I want to become rich, so what can I sell, you know. And then they go for all these webinars and the marketing stuff, and some people that are desperate fall for it, you know.
mm.
But that's not what you want, and that's not what I want.
No, but I don't think that just creating the music with love and with the right intent and all of those things are gonna bring the kind of, you know,
Oh,
support that I need. I just don't think that, you know, I'm a little bit of a, you know, a bit sort of anti-new age, you know, all that word like manifest and put the right intent into something. That's all very well and good, but it doesn't really work in the real world by just creating something beautiful and expecting it to work just
no, no,
because it's
no, no,
beautiful,
no,
maybe
no,
with the right
that's
intent.
no, that's not what I meant actually. It's when you do marketing stuff out of desperation, it usually doesn't work.
Mm,
At least not with the audience that you want to make happy in the long run,
mm,
you know? Um, and you know, I can't tell you right now that you will definitely succeed. I just see this huge potential, and I've tried out what doesn't work for ethical people, and I've tried out what works, and you know, um, I've tried many things and I've had many flops. So.
mm. Yeah, I think one of the ideas I had there was to get somebody to work on my behalf because I'm not the marketer. I'm not any of that. I don't like being a talking head. I don't like it. I should be
Oh,
left
no,
to
I
my own
know.
device. I should be in the studio
Yes,
creating, and I should have
exactly.
somebody maybe
Exactly.
working on pro bono or whatever, you know, because I have this new website that gets no traffic, and I would like to give that website to someone and say, market it, and whatever profit, you know, we'll go 50-50 or 70-30 in your favor. and just let them do all the social media marketing and all the stuff that I dread doing that leaves me in the studio doing what I do best,
And that's what you
rather
need
than
to do. Exactly. You
yeah.
need to be in the studio.
So anybody listening to this, if you think you've got the stones to take the website and run with it, and if you, but there will be obviously a period of where you're working for months where you don't get any traction, and it seems like hopeless to a point. But I guess at a point, if you know what you're doing, if you know about search engine optimization and link building and backlinking and promotional stuff and SEO, all that sort of stuff, if that's your bag, then contact me, and maybe we can work together, and we could do a profit share of some kind. I don't know, so I can be left to my own devices and create because I
And that's
hate
what
marketing.
that's the place where you need to be. You need to have some you need to be free to follow your bliss, and you need
Mhm.
to create without worries.
Yeah, I've tried to get my wife, on the marketing side, but she's just not cut out for that. I've tried and I've pressured, not pressured, but she's tried, and it's just not what she's here to do. She's
Hmm.
just, you can tell when somebody doesn't like doing something. She said, it's not me. I can't do it. I can't do it. And
I
I
know
keep.
it has to be it has to happen because it's fun.
Yeah, yeah, and I have to find somebody who wants to do it for the love of doing it initially, and then there will be rewards down the road if the website is successful,
Hmm.
or, to a certain extent. And I think we could grow on that, and I think there could be an opportunity for someone to take the bull by the horns and run. They have to know what they're doing, though. They have to have, really a background in internet marketing, ideally, or
Not
someone that thinks.
necessarily. It
Not
depends.
necessarily, but someone that thinks outside of the box, not just does the conventional things that don't work. I've tried all the conventional things, I've tried all the free platforms.
Hmm.
Someone that could think outside of the box and go, maybe we should do press release on you saying the miracle music, the man who's discovered the secret to well-being using frequencies and blah blah blah. And here are the testimonials, and I have a million ideas, but putting them into fruition is just tough for me because it's not what I'm meant to do. But I know
No.
there's someone out there that can do it, that can take it and understands what the product is. It's a good product, and I have all these incredible testimonials with it. So we know we have a product that works. We know we have got incredible testimonials. I just need someone to take the bull by the horns and run with it and feel as passionate about it as I am.
Hmm.
And perhaps there could be a revenue stream for both of us there. So I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, can I ask you, I don't know whether you have other videos where you've talked about it at length, but I would be interested to know when you woke up to flat Earth.
Oh gosh, that was 2016. I think it was Mark Sargent that ruined my life.
No, he
Um,
he saved you.
yeah, I watched. I think back in 2016, I was already into conspiracies and truth for a good 4 years. 2012, 9/11 was the catalyst that got me into it.
Uh-huh.
And back then, YouTube wasn't censoring. So if you'd watched a video on 9/11, it would offer you another video on this conspiracy or that conspiracy, the conspiracy about the Titanic, the conspiracy about Florida. Oh, it was
Oh
just
my God, the
offering.
Titanic is an awesome story.
Oh, that's incredible. I love that one. That's a brilliant one.
Oh
So
my
it was it,
God.
it was it was offering me all of this truth, because it wasn't censoring, and I kept seeing flat Earth come up in the feed, and I'm going, who the hell believes that
I
nonsense?
know I used to say that.
The hell, what kind of idiot is clicking on that?
Oh
And
gosh.
but a video came up and it was titled "They Are Hiding God with the Biggest Secret," something like that. It was really intriguing title. Someone had taken Mark Sargent's Flat Earth Clues, which
Hmm.
is like a 2 hour presentation of just this clue, second clue, third clue, and someone had retitled it.
Hmm.
That wasn't called. Didn't have Flat Earth in the title. It had "They Are Hiding God with the Biggest Secret." So I clicked on it and I watched it and I got to the end and I'm like. Okay. So oh God, it's like, oh my, and because I'd watched that,
Yeah.
all these other flat Earth videos were coming, and I wasn't so afraid of the words flat Earth. I'm like, there's something to this. Click, 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 and I drank it in for about a year before I was confident enough to know the bullet points of new cosmology. Confident enough to put it into lyrics and to put it into music, and confident enough with the software to create and blah blah blah. So it was like 2016, woke up to it. 2017, wrote the first song about it, and then I got an internet hug and an internet pat on the back, and then they was going more, more, do another one. So I did another one, then another one, then another one, and before I knew it, I had a whole album done by 2018.
Hmm.
So yeah, and I love the information. I still listen to a lot of interviews and regarding the cosmological lie and the
Hmm.
heliosorcery and all of that sort of thing. I love listening to it. It's a real passion of mine.
Hmm.
I don't try and you go out there and flat smack people anymore. It's like my own little sort of dirty secret, if you like. I know.
I
So
know
no, I
it's like a dirty secret, and then I have a friend who makes the most adorable paint, and she's a painter, um, and she has the most adorable little paintings, and then some of them have like like the globe Earth and then healing stuff around it, and it's an adorable picture. But I just think, oh God, dare I tell you?
yeah. I think you're a little off on your cosmology, my dear. But yeah, so you can't. And as I said before in our last chat, you can't. Mark Sargent coined the term. It's from a movie called Fight Club, and the guy says the first rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. Second rule of Fight Club, you do not talk about Fight Club. And Mark Sargent coined that term, but he called it flat. You don't talk about flat club. First rule, you don't go out there into the real world and start telling people they've been lied to about where they live. You can't. I've tried it because, of course, when you first come into this information, you want to tell the world. You want to tell everybody.
I know.
That didn't work. That didn't work out too well for me. I lost friends and family over this. So.
Yeah, that is really the irony, isn't it? You discover something and you're so happy about it, and then you go out and tell your friends and they think you're just crazy.
And as I said before, like if I just tell people the truth, they'll love me.
I know. That's precisely what
No.
I thought with the no virus thing.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah.
Viruses are no, bacteria are not your enemy. Viruses don't exist.
Yeah.
Viruses
Yeah. Yeah.
have a purpose, and you think, gosh, people will be just as relieved as I am. And actually, my best girlfriend, she's exactly that, and she doesn't enjoy watching documentaries and reading books about it. She says, "Oh, I'm just so happy that you're willing to do all the work, and you just tell me, and then I can enjoy it."
Wonderful, wonderful. I wish more people were like that, but they're not, unfortunately. There are some people that are programmed not to receive this information for whatever reason. You could shower them with facts and information and logic and reason and everything, and it will just reflect off of them. It will just bounce off of them. They're just not ready to hear it for whatever reason.
It's a mystery, it's a mystery.
Well, Da Vinci said there are three classes of people: those that see when they are shown, and those who do not see. And I've met the latter many, many times, and it taught me to hold my tongue and gauge my audience very well. So
Mhm.
and I let the music do the talking. Really, at the end of the day, that's what I hide behind. That's the message. That's how I communicate with people now, rather than trying to be a talking head and bash people over the head with this information. It just doesn't work that way. So putting it into music and comedy is a much nicer form of medicine. It makes it go down a lot easier.
Yeah. As I said, my son watched one of the videos with from you that I begged him to watch it with me, and he's still very suspicious of the subject, but he says, "Great musician, cool
Great.
lyrics,
I'll take that. I'll
good,
take that all day long. I'll take
good,
that.
good
But
video."
some of the information he's looking at the visuals, and some of that has gone into his subconscious.
I
And he's
know, I know,
although he's suspicious of the subject, he'll see some of the visuals and he're like, harnesses on the ISS. That will probably stick with him, and,
I know.
one day that seed may germinate, and before you know, it turns into what it
Exactly,
turns
and
into.
and I'm going to, find a way, maybe on my birthday, watch another one with with him.
Yeah, you should incentivize him. Say, look, I'll pay you so much to watch this video. I'll pay you.
No, I grew out of that one. I used to try that one when they were teens,
Right. Okay.
but I've
You can say, look, if you watch my video, I'll watch one of yours.
well, he knows that I'll watch anything he'll send to me anyway because,
Right.
yeah. Yeah, anyway, but I thought, hey, he admired your musicianship. He admired the way you did the video. He thought it was a catchy song, so that's a great start.
Exactly. And that's all it takes. Like I say, it's the visuals. They go into the subconscious and that will sit with him.
I know.
And who knows, before long, he might start, well, maybe he had a few points there. That's interesting. And one day a video will come up that will connect him to the video that he saw and he'll click on it. And, it's about sowing those seeds. And I do that musically.
Exactly. And yeah, and I hope that you'll make more videos. I know there is so much work, but
They are a massive pain in the ass.
no, and they're not fun to make.
No, well, they're laborious.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of editing that go. I do want to do that again. If I had the
Oh gosh,
audience,
I
I'd
wish you
still
would
be
make
doing it.
you. I wish you would make a song about viruses don't exist and
Well,
about.
I mean that's already the flag that's going to get flagged. That'll be taken down. There's no way I could put
But
that on YouTube.
please, no, but please make one and sell it to us. I, I'm willing to pay money.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
please.
mean that's a great. I love that topic,
Oh,
but
I love that
the
topic.
algorithms hate that topic. I
But,
mean,
but,
I've
no,
had videos taken down because of
but
that topic.
there are all these, we can send that to all these doctors, and then that can be, that's just like medicine. And
Yeah.
please make one about no viruses and that bacteria and
Once I've finished the current project that I'm on, which is finishing True Solfeggio Volume 3, once I get that, and once I take a big sigh of relief after that's done, I
yeah.
would love to get back into the comedic stuff. I want to plug my Telegram channel because that seems to be kind of uncensored-ish. So if people want to follow me on Telegram, it's at Conspiracy Music.
Okay, I'll find it.
Yeah, at Conspiracy Music. And there's only like 3,500 followers there, but I get more traction there than I do on my YouTube channel, which has 80,000. So maybe I could plug that. I'm on Rumble and BitChute as well. So I think I'm going to have to start going to these other
No,
uncensored.
but remember, you just make the art and we worry about the distribution.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay.
You'll joyfully make the art and we'll distribute. We'll all
How
be
you-
together. Come
how
on.
would you distribute? How would you distribute though? That's my question.
Well, I'll tell you offline.
Okay, fine. Right. Do you have like a mailing list of 4 million people that I don't know about?
No, not yet. No. The trick is you don't need that many.
No, no, maybe not.
Okay.
Maybe
No.
not. We'll find
And
out. But no, no, but I definitely would love to get back into doing more comedic stuff. And I'm getting a little bit. I have a new editing software now that I can do it a little bit quicker now. But before it was very laborious, because it's just because I want every scene and every line to be described and shown visually. That's the trick, and it keeps me awake at night. Yeah, I do.
I bet it's a lot of work. It's a lot
I
of
lose a lot of sleep as well. With that saying that I suffer for my art when I'm involved in a music project like that, like the Flat Earth Man videos, I very, very rarely sleep because I'm thinking, right, how am I going to position myself in this particular scene for this particular line? I don't know if you notice with the song, every line of the song, there's a different scene, and I'm sort of describing what I'm singing in the scene, and I have to think, right, what am I going to need? Right, I'm going to need a violin. I'm going to need this. So I have to buy products as well to so it's a nightmare, but when I sit back and see what I've done, I don't want to use the word proud. I'm so happy. I'm just so
well,
elated.
yeah, but well, satisfied and happy and
Yeah,
content.
very, very, very. Because when you make something like that, it's on the internet forever. So I put my heart and soul into it. One video takes 2 to 3 months work. That's working
I
every
know,
day.
but I know it's a lot. I mean, I can just guess that it's a
Yeah,
lot.
again, it's kind of deflating when you put that much work into it, only to get to it just doesn't get the views. So why would I? Why would I
Oh,
put myself through 3 months work?
you have to, please disconnect yourself from the
I
number.
know, I know, I know, I know. I piss and moan. I know. It's
No,
just.
no, no, no. Please piss and moan and both and simultaneously disconnect yourself from the numbers and the algorithm and focus
Yeah.
focus on the joy that you have given to people.
Yes.
Like I mean, really, that is the joy that you give by doing that is healing.
Yes.
And if you just heal one person, you've given me so much joy, and I know I'm unimportant. I mean, I'm just one person, but it is true joy that you have given, and I'm not the only one.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Maybe I need to. Yeah. I need to get in a different mind space. Like I say, my main focus now is the true solfeggio, and I'm having a lot of
And
fun
that's
doing that.
great, but that'll be done. But I wonder, like when I build stuff, like when I wrote my grammar book, and sometimes, one time I found I had the wrong. It's in color, so I found it was the wrong one shade of color was wrong for printing. I had to click through 460 pages, click, 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 change the color. So, but somehow, I found it. It was just still, it was, yeah, stupid work, but I found it satisfying to finish the book. And I enjoyed the process so much. So I'm wondering, isn't there don't you get into the flow and just love it if you don't worry about the effect, but just about the work?
Yeah. It depends. It
Mhm.
depends. I released 7 children's books, all based on my flat Earth man
I know, I
character.
downloaded them all.
Yeah, that was that was a. It's not like publishing and formatting and PDFs and all
Yeah,
of
and
that.
I'm not a big fan of the
So
books.
no, I don't enjoy that process. I don't enjoy that process. I like making music. That's what I like doing. But
But really,
public.
see, I think the books, the children aren't your audience. It's the parents, because the
Yeah,
parents will stop telling the kids bullshit.
yeah,
And I think for children's books, you would need someone to draw.
yeah.
I know just the right person, and it's the person that draws these adorable globe pictures. But I think she's waking up. She didn't get the jab. She's awake to what's happening in the medical and the food industry. So she's ripe for you. She's ready.
Right.
I'm going to. And then she would be the perfect person to draw these really catchy, beautiful pictures.
Yeah.
But I think
Okay.
that's not what's going to make you money. You,
No,
you have,
what we need is someone who
yeah,
has a marketing mind
no,
and can
not
step up.
necessarily. But first, we need this product. First, we need the product that you can sell to people, because art, I know it's a pain, but it's very hard to live by the art alone. That's always been true. But
Mm.
you can create high-end retreats for a select few, and you can have these products, and we let's experiment with that. So please find joy and make videos about viruses, and no pathogens, and no parasites are good for you. I
I'll put it on the list. I'll put it on the
please.
list. You know how many people I have contact me say, make a video about the Federal Reserve, make a video about this, make a video about that, and I'm like, I'll put it on the list. I'll put it on the list.
Titanic would be also
Be- be-
great. Oh,
Because
please.
the conspiracy list is endless, isn't it? Let's be honest.
No, so isn't it great? You won't get bored.
Well, I'm never bored. I'm not complaining about being bored. I'm very, very busy. No, that's not my gripe.
So you'll just do the art, and then we'll find people who'll have your back with the other stuff.
Yeah, that's what we need. That's what I
That's what
think.
we need. And
Yeah,
in the
that's totally what we need.
meantime, please, just hear all the gratitude from me, and I'm taking the liberty of speaking for all the people that have been made
Well,
happy.
thank you. I really do appreciate that. That's very nice. That's very nice. That's what keeps me going. That's what I love seeing the reaction, particularly with the healing music. I read to you, didn't I, the last time there's
Yes.
a testimony that I just had in, and I get them constantly, well, not constantly, but regularly.
Yeah.
And that is, and somebody commented on it. So this is why you do what you do, isn't it? I said, absolutely, that's why I do what I do. And that does spur me on to keep me going. I do feel I have a purpose. I'm doing the right things with the right intent, and I do get really nice reactions. So, yeah, if we can find somebody that understands and gets why I do what I do and is willing to put the heart and soul into it like I do from a marketing perspective, then, let's talk.
Hmm. Yes. We're talking.
Yeah, no, I mean, like not me and you, but if someone out there that watches this that thinks, they've got
Yeah.
the stones to be able to push this, because I have the products,
Yeah,
I
but
have
it's
the
very,
product.
very, very important that you don't get into the traditional marketing. Not, not,
I agree. I agree.
not, and that's why don't call on the people with the traditional marketing,
Mm.
because you have to remain you, you know, with the pipe, with the brandy, with the cussing, and also with a little bit of a dark,
Thank you. I'm glad you said that. I'm very glad you said that.
and with a bit of a dark edge that is willing to also have the other one.
Yeah.
It's don't tone yourself down. Don't, please
No,
don't.
no, no, you're right. Yeah, be authentic. Yeah.
Be authentic and
I mean,
don't.
I'm a working class bloke that woke up to some truths
Mm.
and decided to put it into music. I won't apologize for being a smoker or a drinker or saying the occasional cuss word.
No.
That is just me.
Yeah, just be unapologetically you, and don't go for the marketing thing. And like, don't, like some of the marketing where you just are in people's faces,
Mm.
and the pain points and all that.
It's
It's over.
tiring. It's
It's
exhausting.
tiring, it's exhausting. I definitely have social media burnout.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
And I've never been in it like some people, and and as I said, I know that it's possible to make money. You're not dreaming about millions and millions. You just want to
No,
be
far
free.
from it. Far from it.
Yes, exactly. And you know, I know it's doable with a surprisingly small audience. Trust me,
Okay. Okay.
done it. And
Okay.
things come and go, but it can happen. And it there has but and for that, the most important thing is that you're in this joyful production mode, and then you find someone, will band together to get you the small select audience who who can appreciate what you're doing.
So what do you think I should do in terms of, creating something that, is,
Let's
in,
brainstorm offline.
yeah, it's something that's interactive and people can get involved. I don't know. I'm a little bit lost
But
for ideas with that. But
let's try it. Let's try it because um but I think the brainstorming is better when we have turned the video off.
okay. Sorry, people. Bye.
Should we turn it off now?
No, it's up to
I,
you.
I would have one more question. You told me in a video that we didn't release about the 432 hertz, and I think that's interesting. So woke up to the 432 before you woke up to flat Earth, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was one of the first things I started looking at in 2012, 2013. Stumbled across a guy by the name of Jamie Buturf, Buturff.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about the 432 and the solfeggio. The first time I heard the word solfeggio, and he was talking about the solfeggio healing frequencies. He was talking about the true solfeggio healing frequencies because there's a lot of information about the modern solfeggio healing frequencies, and he was suggesting that this is a psyop and
Mm-hmm.
pushed by certain, certain three-letter agencies. And so he was presenting the true solfeggio healing frequencies, and he put them up on the screen. And I took the screenshot, and I said, right, I'm going to take these frequencies, and I'm going to embed those or infuse those, and make music around these particular frequencies. And I did that as an experiment. I started making the True Solfeggio album in 2013, and I left it on my hard drive for many years. And then I revisited it in about 2017, 2018. I listened back to it. It's like, oh wow, that's actually pretty good. Why don't we finish that album off and put it out there in the wild? And I did that, and then I sat back and I started getting these profound messages and testimonies from people to say that it helped them with, name your ailment. It was just like, I had sleep paralysis, gone. I had this pain in my hip, gone. I sleep better. My pets are calm. My children are calm. All of these things are like, wow. So this stuff really does work. So absolutely have faith in the frequencies that I'm using.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, woke up to that in about 2013 and released it in 2017 and 18. So I'm real advocate for it, especially when you start looking at the conspiratorial side of it, of who was funding the keynote standard of setting a keynote standard of 440. You've got the Rockefeller footprint all over it.
I
And of
know.
course, my conspiracy brain was going, oh, of course, music is the one thing we absolutely adore. Why wouldn't they bastardize that? They've bastardized everything else, right? The name it, the education, the health, everything.
Mm,
So that really got my conspiratorial mind like, going, oh well, of course they've done that to the music. So why not try and do the polar opposite and make music that is healing in the right frequency as
yeah,
an experiment of my own? And I did that experiment, and the results are in. So
yeah.
I refuse to try and even listen to music in 440 now because I know the agendas, and so I try and stay away from influences, and I just try and create it from my. Obviously, I have my influences. I love a bit of Eric Clapton guitar solo, and my solfeggio stuff is kind of Pink Floyd-esque. It didn't I didn't intend it to be that way. I was never really a Pink Floyd fan. It just kind of sounds a little bit like that because it's mellow, it's ambient, it's listenable, and of
Mhm,
course it's infused with the right, according to Jamie Buturf, the true solfeggio healing frequencies, which is why I named the albums True Solfeggio. So I do have a lot of information on this, the old solfeggio, which is based on the Gregorian chants, and the new solfeggio, which is just like all over the place.
mhm,
So I have that on my website, healingwithfrequencies.net. And if you just go to blog, you'll see, what are the difference between the true solfeggio and the modern solfeggio. It gives you a lot of information there. So
mhm,
yeah, I'm absolutely convinced that, music should be made with with the right intent, with the right frequencies. And I think we'll be looking at a very different landscape in terms of health and well-being if all music was made this way.
mhm. Yeah, I think it's a it's eye-opening. It's amazing.
Yeah,
And
it
it's
really is.
heartbreaking too, because I told you offline I have this nice handpan and it's in 440. So, and my husband gave it to me. So I feel really bad about saying, well, honey, I'm exchanging it
Yeah, yeah, it's like
for
an
something.
unwanted gift. How do you
Well, and
approach that
I
stuff?
was so happy to get it, but
Yeah, they're great. I would love to have a set of handbags. They're incredible. I've got a digital hand pan. It's just not the same. It's just not the same
no,
as
it's
the
not the
real
same.
thing.
They're amazing. And I told
Yeah.
you there's a builder.
I might treat myself to one, but you have to be careful with hand pans because you can buy one on Amazon for
No, no, no. Oh,
250 euros.
please don't. I'll send you a link
No.
to someone who builds, who you can talk to. He
Mm.
builds these beautiful hand pans and in 440.
Yeah, in 440.
432.
Well,
And
yeah.
he does both. He
Yeah,
does
I
both.
mean the really good ones are like they start at about a grand, 1,500, two
Oh, yes.
grand.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, but they are beautiful, and I would love to incorporate the sound of a handpan into my Solfeggio 3
Oh my
album
God. Oh my
if I
God.
can.
Oh,
That'd be
so we need to get you one.
yeah, and some nature
We'll,
sounds
we'll,
as
we'll
well.
start we'll start some crowdfunding to
We'll
get you.
do a GoFundMe, get Alex a handpan. Yeah,
Yes.
maybe we should.
Okay, I'll send you the link to this guy that
Yeah,
he said he
great.
built me for he does the 432 only on demand, because
Yeah.
most people
Mm.
don't know about it, but he does, and they're beautiful. And there's this huge selection, and I don't know yet enough about what I want. There are all these different styles.
There's all these different
I have
keys and
yeah, I
different
have a
yeah.
C-sharp pygmy, which I like, but
Mhm.
I'm not a good enough player yet to really know what I want. And so
Yeah.
yeah,
I
anyway.
would love to have one. I would love to be locked in a room with one for a few hours, and I'll get you something really magical out of it for just a
Oh my
few
God, oh
hours.
my God. Okay, so here's the call. Let's go fund
Yeah, I
let's
might have to
open,
I might have to sell a guitar or two, I
no,
think.
nope, nope, nope. We'll open up an account and we can donate. And then you can buy yourself this cool handpan.
Great,
And
great.
then
Let's do
and
that.
that'll give you confidence that this will work.
But
Okay.
there's a community out there that has my back. Yeah, that'd be
Yes.
nice. That'd be nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I'm definitely on the market for a handpan. I've been looking at them and researching them for a good six
Well,
months now. And
I'll send you the info after our call. And
yeah, I drool at them every time I see them. They're just
oh,
such
they're
fun.
lovely. Oh, they're
Yeah,
lovely. Yes, I want to learn to play them. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to get a 432 too, and it's just painful when it's great with string instruments. You can just
Oh,
learn them, but
yeah.
my husband loves playing the piano, and he has a grand piano, and of course it's not 440, it's even 442. It's even more awful.
Oof. You need to get that tuned, man. You got to get that tuned to
I
432.
know. I hear it all day long.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I need to. Yeah, and it's hard when you learn, I pick, I'm flirting with my fiddle again after 35 years. And all these cool tunes, they're all in 440. So when you want to learn them, you know.
I mean, there are things online. Well, there's apps on, in the App Store that will take any music and will reduce it by 8 hertz, So if you want to play along with your 432 instrument, it is possible to do. Or you can just import the song that's in 440 into a bit of software like Audacity is a
Mhm,
free piece of software you can find online where you can import it and you can just, change it from 440 to 432.
mhm, mhm.
So there are software I mean, I'm a big fan of creating it from scratch in 432. I think it loses something in the
Yeah,
conversion
of
process as well,
course.
So
There's nothing
but
like.
but just for jamming along, and your instrument's tuned to 432 and the backing tracks in 440, you can find things online that will
Oh,
reduce
good.
by
Oh, good to know. Good to know.
yeah.
Because that was the one reason why I still have the other frequency in the house
Yeah.
on my stringed instruments. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. And how old were you when you picked up the guitar? Is the guitar your first instrument?
No, the piano was my first instrument. I come from a relatively musical family. My father was an organist in a band with his three brothers. So there were
Ah,
four brothers going out doing gigs in working men's clubs and conservative clubs and labor clubs, and they were just going around doing the band thing. And I would always tag along. And when the band had a break, I would be up there at 8 years old playing a little bit of organ or whatever. I first started playing the piano when I was about 4 years old because we always had a piano in the house or an organ. So
mm-hmm.
piano was the first thing I started tinkering around with. And I didn't pick up the guitar till I was 21, so I was quite a late bloomer with the guitar. But when I picked that up, I fell in love with the guitar. In fact, it's my preferred instrument, and I
Hmm.
kind of backed away from the piano a little bit. I was like, the guitars are cool, man. This is going to get me so many girls, and it did, and it totally did. That totally worked. It's obviously not the way you should approach an instrument, but there you go. But no, I fell in love with the guitar, and I have like 14 of them. In fact, I just bought this one actually last week. This was 390 euros, an absolute gem.
Oh,
Gorgeous.
wow.
Yeah, this was gorgeous. This is my new little baby there. But
Um,
I love guitars. I wish I could play them. Um, get in there. I wish I could play them better, but I refuse to have lessons. I try and figure it all out myself. So yeah, I was a very late bloomer with the guitar, but once you pick up the guitar and start figuring out some, because I'd already played the piano, so I knew what chords were, and I knew what chords to go to that sound good. So I knew chord progression. So as soon as I picked up the guitar, I knew that I had to go to this particular chord. It's just about finger placements at that point. I could hear what sounds good and what doesn't sound good. And
mhm.
once you play the guitar, which has 6 strings, then you can play the bass to a certain extent, which has 4 strings. So I started playing and messing around with the bass, and now I can play the piano, the guitar, and the bass, and I could sing and I could do harmonies. Naturally, I'm pretty good at harmonies. So all I had to do was figure out what software I needed to record it. And that's a whole learning process. Then you're getting into music production, which is another animal, but I'm slowly learning that. Now I have some ingredients and I can record them. I started learning some drums and harmonica and just applying myself really. And then before you know it, you have enough ingredients to make a song.
Wow.
And, and then once you have this information of, the lies of cosmology, virology, biology, geology, name your ology, then why make another tepid love song? It's like I have this information that needs to be shared, and I'm competent enough with and I can record it, and that's how it all started.
Yeah, interesting. But then you heard music from when you were a baby, so in the womb already. And
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
yeah, and you learned it's like your mother tongue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it's a part of my DNA. If DNA is even a
Well,
thing, I
it is the thing.
question that now.
Whatever. It
Whatever that is. Yeah.
was in the field.
It's in my blood. It's in my blood,
It's
whatever
in
that
your
is.
field,
That's it.
and you heard
Yeah.
heard the frequencies and the vibrations while you were in the womb and while you were little, and you
Yeah.
modeled it, and you saw all these musicians. Hmm.
Yeah, and I try and figure it out myself. I don't read music. I'm a typical bloke when it comes to when I get a new piece of equipment, I throw away the manual. I don't want to read that. I want to be able
I
to
don't
build it.
either.
I'm like one of them, and I'm the same with the guitar. Well, I'm the same with any instrument. Just give it to me, lock me in a room for a couple of hours, and I'll get you something out of it. I'll figure it
Wow.
out myself. And I think that's the key really, because as we
Yes.
discussed before, there's so many musicians out there that can convert the dots that they see into finger movements, but there's no
Yes.
soul there. It's utterly soulless. I've met people.
It's too cognitive,
Yeah.
and we learned to walk and to speak and to sing without a manual and without being taught. It was in the field and we imitated and we were,
Exactly.
it's
It's
all,
like that. Yeah, it's like if you took
yeah,
two newborn babies, and you put them on a desert island, they would communicate. They would make their own language, but we come along and we start teaching them English and spelling and witchcraft,
yes.
and that's where we are now. But if you left those two babies to their own devices, they would develop their own language, and I think the
Yeah.
same is true with music.
I know, and there are some people who do cool stuff with sheet music, but it's not making music is not about reading notes.
Shit music.
Well, that's a good exercise. We have these minimal pairs for pronunciation drills. You have sheet and shit. Sheet.
All I heard was shit music. That's all I heard. But it is. It's just so robotic when you see those dots. And if you put those dots in front of me, it would be like Korean, Japan. It was so.
You
I
don't
don't
need
even like
them. That's the
reading.
fantastic
No,
thing.
I don't need it. That's another program. It's a programming the matrix. It's like we don't need that. You could, if you're musically gifted, then you should be able to figure it out yourself. You should know what sounds good and what doesn't sound good.
Well, one does need the role model. Don't forget that you heard it. You were not brought up in a vacuum. So we need the modeling.
Mm.
And so, but it's interesting, yeah. And you know what I really admired, that you could pick up the American accent so easily. Lots of people, from when you're native Brit, you often can't do the
Yeah.
American accent and the other way around. You know, I mean, Hugh Laurie, is it, no, no, hang on, I'm bad with who,
Yeah, the guy that did House.
Stephen Wood, yeah. Yeah, yeah, the one who, I found him when I watched Bertie Wooster,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
and so I knew him as this really totally British guy, and
yeah.
I was amazed. He does a very good job doing an American accent, and it's
Yeah, I've always been a bit of a voice talent. I guess I've got like a little menu of voices that I can choose from, and maybe I watched too much American TV as a child, and I've
but
always
it's
been a pretty
great.
good impressionist. And I had a ringtone. I still got a ringtone company where I just did a Scottish accent or an Indian accent,
I mean,
or I just try
my
and
son is like that too. One of my sons is like that too. I can, but I
yeah,
love
it's great. It's a great thing to have at my, at my disposal because if I'm doing a reggae song, I can put that little reggae inflection in my voice and make it sound more authentic.
Yes,
You
it's
know,
cool.
so that's the American cowboy voice. It was just such a stereotypical. It was over the top exaggeration of what I thought an American sound like.
And it sounded really good. And I thought
Yeah, and so
American.
many people contacted me and said, I genuinely thought you was a guy from Texas. And as soon as you opened your mouth in an interview, like you're from Essex, like I was genuinely blown away. It wasn't, I didn't set out to deceive people. It was just a character that I hid behind to deliver a message. And it worked. And so many people was like, and American people would contact me, go, I thought you were from Texas. It's like, I'm
Yeah,
putting on this voice like this, man. And it's, I don't know where that came from, but it worked. And it was such a genius move, really.
well,
But
it tricked me in a good way because, and I
yeah.
usually pick up on it, but I
Yeah.
didn't with you.
Yeah, I've got many sort of different voices now. I mean, I could have been a really good voiceover artist at one point. Of course, now AI has completely ruined that industry.
No, it
You know,
hasn't. It hasn't because it's fake, like it
yeah,
was interesting. One of my favorite books, I bought the audio version and I thought this is unbearable. It's just unbearable. And
mm,
was told later it was AI, you know?
yeah,
No, it's not, it didn't ruin it.
mhm,
It made the authentic stuff all the more important.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think AI is slowly getting better. I mean, I can detect an AI song instantly like that, but it is getting better. And there will be a time where you will not be able to differentiate between what is an AI voice and what's a human voice. I don't think. Well, most of the masses won't. So it's gonna ruin people that are in, voiceover artists, and it's gonna ruin a lot of careers. So there
Well,
is that.
I think that there will be a market for the true thing, and
Mm,
it will be more sought after.
mm.
It will be more exquisite and more, more
Yeah,
privileged.
I hope so. As I said before, it's going to split people into two parts. There's going to be a want and a need for authentic musicians and authentic music, and there's going to be people that just lap the AI crap up and they'll love it, and there'll probably be an AI dedicated chart. I mean, an AI song has already reached number one in the States. There's already AI artists on Spotify, which they are promoting. In fact, they are promoting AI artists above real artists because with AI music, they don't have to pay any copyright or royalties. So they're pushing the AI stuff, which is incredibly sad. But on the flip side, Bandcamp have just released a statement saying that their platform will not have any AI generated music, which is a win for
Yes,
us.
yes, definitely. And in your club, there won't be any AI.
No, no, definitely not. I refuse to. I refuse to use it. I even once, sadly, and it pains me to say this, but I even used AI once to give me some. I was having like a, like a blank spot in my mind. Like, what do they call that when you just can't write? What do they call that? A creative block or
Writer's
whatever you want to
block.
call
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
yeah.
writer's block. And I thought, oh, maybe I'll use AI to inspire me with some lyrics. And I said, oh, write me a song with these themes. And it spat out some lyrics, and it's just like. It's like, oh, there's some good rhyming there, but it's not me. It's not me. It's not coming from me. So like, I tried to get inspiration from it, and it's just like it turned me off it completely. It was like, but it did inspire me to write the song that I wanted AI to write in my own words. But it's just. It's very easy to get, and people do it all the time. They go, write me a song about this. They take the lyrics from ChatGPT, a song about whatever your flavor, and then they put it into a platform called Suno. And before you know it, you can write an album in 5 minutes, and people are posting this stuff, and the algorithms are favoring it as well. And
Mm,
it breaks my heart.
it's disgusting. Don't let
It
it
really
break,
is.
don't let
Yeah.
it break your heart.
No, but I just see the landscape of the music industry changing quite a lot, and there will be people that love it and want it. I mean, if we've already got a number one song in the States that is AI generated, and if we've always got these artificial bands that are getting more followers than I could ever hope for, that is heartbreaking.
Yes, if you allow it. What?
If I allow it, if I allow it, but it is what it is. But I guess, like I say, there's going to be a want and a need for people that really, want to see people actually playing instruments.
Yes, exactly. And teaching them how to do it, or not inspiring them,
Mm.
how to do
Yeah,
it. Yes.
yeah, for
Yes.
sure. So it's
Well,
going to be a very interesting year. It's going to be a very interesting couple of years to see what happens with the music landscape. But
yeah.
I'm not so deflated that I want to give up. I still want
Don't,
to do it. I'm
don't
just
give
if
up. Don't give up.
no, no, I won't. I definitely
I'm
won't.
waiting for your next videos.
Right.
Meanwhile,
Okay.
I'll keep watching the old ones.
You're gonna have to for now. But yeah, well, it's going to be an interesting. It's always an interesting year musically for me. I'm always coming up with new ideas and and bumping into people and creating new stuff. And so I'm never bored, never bored.
Very, very good. Well, I'll turn off the record and then we'll do some real conspiracy stuff.
Ooh, you're missing out, people. You're going to miss out now.
Thank you very much for our conversation.
You're welcome. Thank you.